Hi Marius, happy 70th birthday. Just want to reflect for a minute for the benefit of the younger members of the family who mightn't know this as to how you got your name, Marius James Corrigan. Marius was a very unusual name. In fact, nobody had ever heard of a Marius in Enniskillen before you were born in 1954, which was a special year of devotion to Our Lady in the church. So Mary, girls were called Marion, the boys were called Marius. So there were about half a dozen Mariuses in Enniskillen and a number of Marians, including Maureen's sister, Marion. Nobody had ever heard of a Marius before that. The only one we were aware of was the Roman general, Marius and Sulla. So there was great amusement whenever this Marius appeared in Enniskillen in 1954. That was at the behest of a very determined midwife called Nurse Rooney, who managed to persuade parents to call their children Marius or Marion as part of the marrying year. The other name, James, always struck me as very ironic because that was after Mammy's brother, Uncle Jim, down on the farm in County Offaly. Ironic because Jim was a very quiet, modest, inoffensive man. Rest my case. Now, later on, when we were growing up a little bit, Marius developed a reputation as the black sheep of the family, not so much because he had black hair when the rest of us had blonde hair, but because he always seemed to be in trouble or bother of some kind. I remember one occasion when he was still quite young, when he had got into serious trouble at home and decided to try and escape by hiding. And Daddy out the back of the house had a large pile of blocks and sticks that he cut in the summertime to see us through the winter. And Marius, after this bit of bad behaviour, managed to burrow his way into the middle of this and sit. And he sat for hours, missing. And the family, the street and half of Enniskillen was out looking for him, thinking he had run away. He eventually came out after a couple of hours. I can't remember the outcome, but I presume it was more relief than punishment because people thought that he had disappeared. So that had been fairly typical of Marius at home when he was very young. Then as the years went on, Marius was the first one of us boys anyway to have a full permanent salary coming in because he decided to become a rich banker, whereas most of the rest of us decided to become impoverished school teachers. So the only car at home belonged to Marius. He was kind enough to lend it to Maureen and myself and a couple of friends of ours at Queen's in 1972 to drive from here to Sorrento in Italy on a bit of an adventure. We didn't realise until we were underway that there was a hole in the floor of the car and we could watch the road running by beneath us. The thermostat wasn't working, so there was no heat or air conditioning or anything like that. So we baked on the plains of France and Luxembourg and Italy in midsummer, and then when we drove over the Alps, we froze to death in it because there was no heating. But we got there and back. And then 3 years later, when Maureen and myself were married in 1975, Marius loaned us his then car to go on honeymoon to Cornwall because we didn't have one. It was a cream-coloured Renault with a registration eejit 37K. We called it the cream egg because of the colour and registration. So it took us to Cornwall and back. In Bristol, as we're coming into Bristol on our way to catch the ferry home from Fishguard in Wales to Rosslare, the car broke down. But that's another story for another day. So Marius, lots of very, very good memories surrounding yourself. Thanks for all those. Thanks for your generosity. Thanks for your comradeship and happy 70th birthday. Welcome to the 310 Club from us. One.
Happy birthday to Marius. Happy birthday to Marius.
Happy birthday, Marius.
Happy birthday.
Marius, you have the worst taste in music and the worst taste in sports clubs, but I suppose have a happy birthday anyway.
Yes, happy birthday, Marius, and thank you for all them years teaching me about the great game of hurling.
Happy birthday, Marius. I hope you still have the pink shorts I bought you.
Happy birthday there, Marius. 70 years old. Can't believe it. So here's what I remember about you when you were young. Several things. One, you inherited a pram in very good condition from your older brother, Sean. Now, Sean was a very plump, content, quiet baby who just sat in that pram with the curls on top of his head. And then you came along, no curls, sitting in that pram, and you used to grab the one side with both hands. You were strapped in, remember, and rattled that pram back and forth, back and forth, and back and forth. By the time poor old Kieran inherited it, it was falling apart. So you didn't get better as you got older. I had to babysit you sometimes, and I do remember on one occasion, and I do suffer some guilt from this, I was left looking after you boys, and you were being your usual self. You were maybe about 4, and in an effort to discipline you, I tied you to a chair in the kitchen. I tied both your legs and both your arms. Must have been a skipping rope. Now, I have to say I was helped along with your 2 older brothers. Anyway, you were totally upset, very upset. I did untie you before our mother came home. She came in the house and had one look at you and was very distressed. She kept saying to me, "What? You've done something to him. What did you do to him?" And I said, "Nothing. I didn't do anything to him." Sean and Joe backed me up without saying a word. And she said, "You must have. Look at him. He's practically foaming at the mouth. You must have done something to him." Anyway, Marius, it all made you a tougher, happier person when you grow up. So you have me to thank for that. Happy birthday again.
Marius, you have always been very welcoming and hospitable. You are certainly a man of many talents, but in my eyes, one of your greatest talents is the ability to always live within staggering distance of the nearest hostelry. Anyway, on your big birthday, wishing you a very happy day from everybody in Flaxfield Park. Go.
Marius, something doesn't add up here. For years now, you've been telling us that you're in your 50s and 50 this, and suddenly you've come to 70. How did that happen? I think you're going to have to get married to somehow reconcile that for you. You're well used to doing that anyway. A few questions for you, generally. Okay, when did Germany win their first Soccer World Cup? What year? Second question, Royal Tan, what year did he win the Grand National? Thirdly, Rocky Marciano, heavyweight boxing champion, what year? I think you can probably see the pattern here yourself. You've guessed it, 1954 for all of them. All of these things happen in your lifetime now. Incidentally, I wasn't born under any of those circumstances. Way beyond my time, way before. Anyway, happy birthday. You're nearly the oldest person in the room now. I think if you take a look around you'll see there are not too many older than you. But look, happy birthday anyway. See you on the night. Bye.
Thanks, Uncle Marius, from Hurricane and me.
Happy birthday, Marius!
Happy birthday, Marius. Can't
From-
believe you're that old.
Hope you're having better weather than we are in Wales right now. Have a good one.
Okay, bye. See you on the night.
Marius from the street, but yeah.
Happy birthday, Marius from Chicago. Have a good one.
Marius, another year older and still with the youthful exuberance and drinking habits of an 18-year-old. I hope you can take some solace in the fact that no matter how old you get, I'm sure you'll still get ID'd in Texas. I hope you have a good day. Bye.
Happy 70th birthday, Marius, from me and Milo.
Happy birthday, Marius, from Geraldine.
Marius. I have been asked to say something about Marius and I just don't know what to say. And the only thing that I can think of is that he can make a fantastic cup of tea. After all the years I've known him, he has made me one cup of tea and it was very, very good. So I'm looking forward to having another cup of tea with you, Marius, on your big night for your 70th birthday. Have a wonderful weekend with all your loved ones. Love from Enniskillen.
Happy 70th birthday, Marius. In the 16 years that I've known you, you've been always quite the fool, but it's always been good fun.
Hi Marius, happy 70th birthday. Oh my god, you're 70 years of age. That got me thinking how many septuagenarians I actually knew, and quite honestly the only other old people I could think of were Moira, Joe, Sean and Brian Darcy. Then I realised that one of Ireland's best known personalities is also a similar vintage to you. And just like you, he has been very successful where money is concerned. Secretly, I think he has been an inspiration to you over the last 15 years because you've been heard repeating his word very loudly on many occasions. So it's a great pleasure that I get to pass on the warmest birthday wishes from Sean Quinn Sr., who wishes you a very happy 70th birthday and says welcome to the club. Happy 70th birthday, Marius, from all of us here, formerly Ballinadec, now Mully Logan, and eventually back to Sasha Arney. Have a great night.
I've always been a fan of Sol Campbell because he left Spurs and went to a better team in Arsenal. And go fuck yourself.
No, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, Jackie.
Marius, Spurs all the way, but mainly the drinks. Let's face it here. That's what we go for. You don't really like Spurs, you love the drinks. Enjoy yourself. Have a happy birthday.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Marius. I hear you and Dad were meant to go on a walking tour, but according to him, you're too old now to be able to complete it. All the best from Sydney. Good luck.
Okay, happy 70th birthday, Marius. I've got lots of stories I could tell about you from when you were born to now, but there's no point because on your 50th I produced this wonderful volume and it listed all the misdemeanors and all the nonsense you got up to, even as a professional man. Now, any good library stocks this book, and any good bookshop, you can buy it, so I recommend. No point, therefore, in me talking about your early life. I noticed in 2004-2024, there's a John Prine song called Jesus the Missing Years, but I'm going to think about Marius the Missing Years because very few people know about what you got up to during those years, although it's enshrined in this book, the second in the biographical series, a very large volume detailing, but very few people have read that. In fact, nobody's read that beyond me writing it. But I really enjoyed the walks. That was the highlight of those years, and I enjoyed meeting the characters. Pepe from Padron, do you remember him, Madman? Olsen, the Cloud Reader from Charlotte. People like the German hikers on the Rhoda. You've got that wonderful reflective bar owner in southwest Portugal. We spent the night with him. I remember him going way back. Remember Brett Cunningham of Nashville, the down and out street singer, or Big Darrell, the Indian guy. There's so many I could mention. Lionel, the Frenchman, on that Galician walk. People like Antonio in the Algarve Hills, that bar in the middle of nowhere. That was some afternoon. But I enjoyed those walks, and when we get to the day, maybe there'll be a bit more reflection on the missing years. Anyway, happy birthday again.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Marius. Happy birthday to you.
Brilliantly sung.
Well done.
Happy birthday, Marius. It's been fun. I hope the next 70 years are just as much fun. Okay.
Happy birthday, Marius. You're probably one of my favourite uncles that I know from Maeve's side. That excludes present company, of course.
He said
happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Marius. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, Marius. I'm glad that you've got your snoring problem sorted and I no longer have to wake up Michelle, Aideen and Hannah thinking it was them snoring when it was you the whole time. Thanks.